Well, hello, everybody. It is so good to be with you again this week. Steve, how
Yeah,
are
it
things
is.
over at the Yakubowski house?
They're good. Puppy's getting huge. She's 12 weeks old, growing so fast, but good. Yep.
Every-
Lanier, how you doing? I
We're
love
good,
the
man.
haircut.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you had to get a little bit pretty for today. Um,
You
well,
I mean, you're
are
um,
pretty all the
beautiful.
time.
oh, well, and you guys can hear him now. Let's bring in our contestants for this week's game. We have the McGuires and the Laylors live with us. Let's see, McGuires, can you guys go first? And if you can just introduce yourself, what grade you're in, where you go to school, and let's have a what you're looking forward to most when quarantine is over.
Okay,
That's a good
Tucker, let's
question.
go left to right.
No, let's go. Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Tucker McGuire. I'm in sixth grade. I go to Carnage Middle School. I just kind of want to go back to school.
Whoa.
Wow, yeah, that's good.
That's not true, but okay.
Yeah.
Like 2 years when school was
All right.
close to
Yeah.
the year, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm Aiden. I'm a sophomore. I go to Enloe High School, and I'm really looking forward to getting with the boys, getting together with the boys again. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exciting.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm in eighth grade, I guess. I don't really know because it's like the school year's grade. So I guess
true.
I go to Carnage Middle School, but I'll be at Emma with Aiden next
Yeah.
year. I guess I'm excited to go to high school when quarantine's over.
Yeah, perfect. All right,
Yeah.
Laylors, how about you guys? Your name, your grade, where you go to school, and what you're most looking forward to.
Okay, I'm Abby, and I am in 10th grade, and I go to Holly Springs High School, and I look forward to just being able to like hang out with my friends and like go shopping.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
I'm a senior at Holly Springs High School. I'm going to be attending NC State this fall, hopefully. When quarantine is lifted, I'm going to do two things: go find some good barbecue and enjoy my time at college.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm I'm Katie. I'm in 7th grade. I go to Pine Springs Park, and I'm looking forward to going back to school.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah,
We've got
that's
comments from Andrew Clark, Mason Randolph, and Trip Column just simply saying the boys. So Aiden, I think they're with
boys.
you. I think they're with
The
you.
boys.
All right. Well, let's
Hey,
get
and just
to game
play.
time. So for
Yeah,
our
that's-
game today, it is time for some trivia, and this is actually going to be trivia based around your fearless team of youth leaders. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you the question, and we'll give you a few seconds to talk amongst yourselves. So we'll need you to mute your microphone so the other team can't hear you. You can't give away your answer. And then when we tell you it's time for the answer, we'll get the answer from you, and we'll see who is going to get the win. Tell us in the comments who you think is going to win the game. We got the McGuires versus the Laylors. It's Family Feud time. So far, the crew of 10th grade boys is coming in strong, saying that Abby's not going to get the win. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, here we go.
Someone set them up.
Question number one. What is Lanier? That's me. That's my name. What is my favorite food? A, vegetables. I can tell you right now, it's not A. I want to put that out there before we even start thinking about it. It's not A. B, pizza. C, pasta. Or D, cookies. So really, it's B, C, or D. If anyone says A, you're off the show. We're just going to end it. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Laylors, we're coming to you first on this one. What you got?
Oh, okay.
What you got?
Okay. Pizza.
All right, Laylors are saying pizza. All right, McGuires,
Pasta man, Lanier.
you're going pasta.
I got to guess.
Pasta.
I got to guess.
Steven, what's your answer?
It's cookies.
Okay,
It's
so here's the deal. The correct answer is C, pasta. The McGuires take the point on that one. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. I didn't make all four choices. I just told her what the right answer was. If I'd known that cookies as like a meal was an option, then I would have chosen cookies. So half point
That's
to
what I'm
Steven.
saying.
Yeah, half point to Steven.
Let's go.
But pasta is the right answer. All right, question number 2. What is Steven's favorite snack? We're going to go A, nacho cheese Doritos, B, Cool Ranch Doritos, C, spicy Cheetos, or D, Pringles. All right, I'll give you a few seconds. Huddle, talk amongst yourselves. Look at the teamwork. Look at the teamwork. They're doing great. All right,
That
in
was
5,
good family
4,
bonding.
3, 2,
at that.
1. All right, this time, McGuire's will come to you first.
Cool Ranch Doritos.
All right, they're going Cool Ranch. Laylers, what you got?
The red Doritos.
The nacho cheese Doritos? All right. The McGuires take the point on that one as well. It is Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yep.
All right. I'm feeling a comeback, Laylers.
Go favorite.
I'm feeling a comeback.
Go favorite.
There's still time. All right. What is Miss Mary's favorite activity to pass time? A, having her hair played with, which if you hang out in the cafe much, you know that happens all the time. B, eating pretzels. C, watercolor painting. Or D, knitting. I'll give you a few seconds.
What can it be?
All right.
Have a guess.
In 3, 2, 1. Laylers, we're coming to you first on this one.
Watercolor painting.
Okay, McGuire's, what do you think?
A, messing with hair.
The correct answer is C, watercolor painting. The Laylers
Yes,
take
sir.
that one.
Oh, you got one right.
Laylers get the point there. Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay.
We can tie it up here. What
How many
is?
questions are there?
It's there's 2 more questions. All right. What is Lauren's least favorite chore? Laundry, dishes, organizing things, or yard work? Give you a few seconds.
Ooh. Let me
right.
tell you her favorite.
5, 4, 3, 2,
What is
1.
it?
McGuire's coming to you first.
Oh, I muted us.
Dishes.
You're going dishes. Okay, Laylers.
Yard work.
The comeback is on. Laylers have the correct answer.
No.
It is yard work. We are tied up.
Let's
2,
go.
2. Okay, here we go. By the way, in the comments, Andrew Clark with some advice for the McGuire team. He says, Aiden, just build. So that's his advice for you. That's good advice.
Gotta build.
What?
He said, Andrew Clark says, just build. That's his advice to
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. All right, here's our last question. What does the fox say? A, squeaky sounds. B, nothing. C, hissing noises. Or D, ring ding ding a ring ding. We'll give you a few seconds.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. That's
That is a
getting into
great
the deep
question.
stuff.
Oh man, which
All right.
type of fox is this?
That's a good
Just
question
an Arctic
too.
fox?
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. I think McGuire's, we're coming to you first on this one. What you got?
A D, a ring ding ding a ding a ding ding.
Tucker, you didn't really sell that to me. I need you to be a little bit more
Yeah,
enthusiastic.
come on, more energy.
Yeah.
Come on. No, that wasn't the part that needed more energy.
A ring a ding a ding.
Okay, that's a little better. All right, Laylers, your answer?
Ding 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 ding.
Oh, wow. Mike coming strong. You both have the correct answer there. So we are tied at 3-3. Here's the deal. I'm going to come up with a tiebreaker task here. I need you to tell me, let's see, what month was Lanier born in? And the closest is going to get the win. The closest to correct is going to get the win. Actually, give me just a birth date. That way, if you guess the same month, we can guess it. So, what is my birthday? Closest one wins. I'll also note that none of you sent me presents this year, so I'm a little disappointed. It's
There's
okay.
a lot of hurt going on.
It's okay. I'll get over it. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Laylers, what's your guess?
Yes, Abby.
February.
17th.
February 17th. Okay. McGuire's.
All right. Teamwork. I like the teamwork.
May 15th.
May 15th. The correct answer is January 19th. Laylers, you are the winning family for this week. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Well done. The comment section got it wrong. The Laylers took the win. I guess it's a sad day for the boys. It's a sad day for
Yeah.
the boys.
The boys are sad.
Boys in mourning.
All right. Well, we will say hey again to you guys in a little bit. Thanks for playing, and we'll talk to you again in just a few minutes here.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Coming up next, it's my personal favorite part of the show. We're going to go to Eli's word of the week, and actually, we've got a little bit of a bonus, and it'll just play right after it. So it's Eli's word of the week plus Eli's song of the week this week. So here we go.
Huggy, 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 huggy.
Go, 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 hockey. Oh, that's not hockey.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and on that farm he had some chickens
Seconds. Buck, buck.
with a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a buck buck
Buck, buck,
here and a
buck, buck, buck,
there, here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a
buck, buck.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yay! So that was Eli's word and song of the week. In case you were wondering, that little clip where he was playing hockey, yes, he was beating me with a golf club for a few seconds there. But hey, that's how we parent. It's great. Next up, back by popular demand, everybody loves it every week. It's time for Just My Luck with Lauren.
Hey guys, welcome to Just My Luck with Lauren, because we all know I've got plenty of moments. This one was this last November, a couple days before my birthday, when my family was actually celebrating my brother Luke's birthday, because his birthday is 2 days before mine. We were going to Defy Apex, which is like a jumping trampoline place for those of you who may not know. And my mom had got this Groupon deal. So she was like, Lauren, you join, you jump. And I was like, she's like, just take the bracelet. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just take the bracelet, probably won't actually jump. And so she's like, that's fine. And then there's like this like thing where there's a trampoline on the bottom, like a square trampoline, and then there's like the wall. And then on the other side of the wall is another trampoline and another barrier, another trampoline. So it's like you're trying to jump over the barriers onto the next trampoline and so forth. Well, after a while of watching, I was like, oh, you know, that looks kind of fun. And my mom's like, do it, Lauren, do it. You should do it. And so I was like, peer pressure gave in, even though there's other people around, you know. I was like, whatever, I'll do it. It can't be that hard. I was wrong. I jumped off the first wall to jump onto the first trampoline to like gain the momentum. And as I hit the trampoline, and as I was in the air, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. And then I realized very quickly I was not gonna get this. Here's the wall, this is my body. I went, and like my whole body on it, and like, so like my head was on the top of it. I just completely, as I smacked into the wall, like my body curled a way no body should ever curl unless you're one of those crazy like gymnastic people who can like fold in half. And every single vertebrae up my spine went all the way up through my neck, like, and then my neck hurt so bad, and I came off and I was like, oh, and then this guy who was standing right by us, who watching his own kid, starts laughing and trying to hide it. He's like, and I look at him, I'm like, I know you're trying to laugh, or I was like, I know you're laughing at me, and he's like, oh no, I'm not. I was like, no, it's okay, I'd be laughing too. And so we all start like laughing together at how much I failed trying to attempt it. But after about the first 15 minutes where it hurt, my back, not my neck hurt for a very long time after, like months after, but my back, like, felt like I went to the chiropractor for free or something. Like, my back was feeling so nice, but it was really embarrassing to smack into the wall, like, but yeah.
the longer we hear these Just My Luck with Lauren stories, the more glad I am that Lauren is alive and still with us, because it sounds like we've run the risk of not having Lauren for quite a few years here. Our next segment this week, we're going to catch up with some friends from the past. You'll recognize them, and then they've actually got a song for us that they're going to share because they're both wonderfully talented musicians. So everybody say hello to our blast from the past. Well, today we're so glad to be joined by Brody and Gwen Higginbotham. It's still so weird for me to not call Gwen Howell, because that's what she was for so long. But Brody changed that.
Howell is gone. Long live Higginbotham.
So just a quick update. Kind of what are y'all doing now? What does life look like for Brody and Gwen at this point?
Well, I'm in seminary at Duke Divinity School. I just finished
Blue Devils.
Shush.
Right?
I'm a UNC grad, so it's like hard for me. Every time I have to write the word Duke, like on a form or something, I still write DOOK.
Good.
But I'm at Duke Divinity School for seminary. I just finished my first year, so I've got 2 more years in that program, and then who knows what's next for me.
Yeah. And I am a graphic designer at a market research company called Kantar. And so I'm designing presentations, and I just finished doing a fellowship. It's a faith and work fellowship called Triangle Fellows. It's out of Gotham Church, so inspired by Tim Keller. I finished last Monday. Yeah, and we bought a townhouse.
Oh yeah, that's relatively new. In the last year, we bought a house and we've been making it home. So yeah.
Just adulting the heck out of it over there.
That's right.
Yep. Yes, we have.
So last thing, just before we let you guys go, what were some of your favorite memories from your time at TCC? Brody, you had a couple years here as an intern, and Gwen, gosh, you had more time here than I have, from being a student all the way through. So when you think back to your time at TCC, what are kind of some of the favorite memories that pop up?
Yeah. So I'll go first, just because I have a smaller pool of memories to draw from. Easier for me to live through. Give Gwen some time. So 4 years ago, almost to the day, a few months off actually, but I shouldn't have said that. I lied. I'm sorry. But about 4 years ago, it was Summer Olympics, and TCC Youth had their own Summer Olympics, and I remember we played this game one day at Womble Park, I think, where the students like divided up into teams, and they had all these cardboard boxes, and they had to build a structure out of cardboard boxes, and then watch their peers destroy it with slingshots. And, that was just ridiculous and fun. But what you didn't know, Lanier, is that it was like a really valuable lesson in how fleeting the things that we build are. Really, it was just like living out the Tower of Babel story, really, is what was happening there.
Especially the building the tower part.
Yeah, that's the main part. The slingshots, if you read it in the Hebrew, you'd see the slingshots in that story,
which Brody can do
in the Angry Bird theme.
Well, I thought it was a little bit of just a hybrid of Tower of Babel and David and Goliath. It was kind of a mashup.
Yeah, so it was both fun and spiritually rich memory.
Yeah, perfect.
And also I got to shoot slingshots at kids, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how to follow that. But one memory I'm going to say a funny one because I feel obligated, and a serious one. The funny one, I feel like, I think it was Tribes. I think I was in high school, and Logan and Crumpy were the interns.
Yep.
And yes, that was not her real name unless you want to think that. And we had to, in order to be in our tribe, we were like lined up someone was blindfolded, or multiple people were blindfolded. There were a lot of lights off in a lot of rooms. We were following someone, and all I remember is being told to sit down somewhere and sitting on a sponge of water and being very upset as a high school
Oh my
person,
gosh.
and it being a whole drama thing and being really upset. And I'm seeing now that I think that was funny and not just bad. Good
Yeah.
movie. Actual good movie.
I'm surprised we didn't lose you off of that one. I'm surprised we held on to Gwen after that.
I didn't even know you back then, but from what I know of you now, that would not go well.
Yeah, I had nice pants on, I think. But good memory. A is the fact that people dealt with me and I still was a part of TCC after that. B was, I think, starting Fusion and just kind of having this time to like hang out with people that I hadn't really hung out with since high school or didn't really know well in high school. And I think it was this cool redemptive time of like, I don't know, just kind of like mending any woundings that any of us had from high school, which a lot of us had because high school and middle school. And I think at the beginning there were a lot of like confrontational conversations, which was hard, but I think it was cool to see at least towards the end of the summer this really close-knit community of people that I hadn't really thought of as close friends that I don't know, just kind of after the years and through just really intentional community, we became really close and poured into each other. And I think that is something that Brody and I both look back to a lot when thinking about community now and kind of the ways that we want to pour into other people. I think that's been like the coolest example of community that we've had. And I've been striving for something similar ever since.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. We love you guys. We miss you. And we hope that we'll see you soon when we're allowed to see people again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great.
We love y'all. We miss you too.
We did.
All right. Take care, y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
We've been through the world, through the desert, and I know we've been through the night, led by pillars of flame. We've stood on the banks of that wide shown river and heard from all believers, come wash and be
Oh man, I hate to do that. I hate that we have to cut that, but we're having some technical difficulties with that video. We will try and fix that. I promise it was beautiful. I watched it, but for whatever reason in the broadcast, it's showing up super buffered and a little bit crazy. So we'll try and work on that. So we will skip ahead then to our Jesus Changed My Life clip of the week. Mason Randolph shared his story with us this week, so let's check that out.
Hey everybody, this week I'm talking about how Jesus has impacted my life. I grew up in a very Christian household. I'm still growing up in a very Christian household. I've been going to TCC since the 3rd grade, and I first accepted Christ in the 4th grade with a little Sunday school prayer. But I didn't really understand like Jesus' sacrifice for us until 7th grade during Merge. That's kind of the first time I understood how much God loves us and what Jesus was willing to do to pay for our sins. So since the 7th grade, I've just been trying to live like Christ the best I can. I joined the FCA at Fuquay, and I surrounded myself with a good group of Christian friends. And within the past year or so, I've had some pretty good conversations with people who aren't Christians, and just been kind of like working on their hearts as best I can. So yeah, that's how Jesus has impacted my life.
Thanks again, Mason. We'd love to hear your story of how Jesus has changed your life. So please let me or Miss Mary know if you want to share your story. We haven't had a middle schooler yet, so middle schoolers, reach out. We'd love to hear from you and share one of your stories next week. But now it is time to turn to our video for this week from the Bible Project. I'm really excited about it. I think it's really appropriate for the season that we're in right now. The video is on exile, and while we're not in exile right now, we're certainly living in what feels like a foreign country. It feels unnatural, the way that we're living right now. So let's check this video out. Then we're going to bring the McGuires and the Laylors back in to talk for a few minutes. One difference that we're going to do today is you should have all gotten an email, or at least your parents did. We're going to have some breakout groups that meet right after this ends at 5:30, so you have some time to get up and move around for a few minutes in between. But we would love for you to join us at those. It's totally up to you. I know a lot of you have been sitting in the computer a lot today doing classes. So if you're just tired, no big deal, we get it. But we would love the chance to reach out and talk to you some more about this topic of exile and just check in and see how you're doing. So there's a group for middle school girls and middle school boys. There's a group for high school boys. And then there are groups for the 9th and 10th grade girls and the 11th and 12th grade girls. So you should have gotten those links. If you did not, make sure to text me or comment, and we will we'll make sure to get that link to you. But for now, here's the exile video.
There's something about being home, where everything's just right. We're surrounded by people we love and trust. There's a feeling of stability and safety.
And while some people get to experience this kind of home, many do not. Others might even be forced to leave their home and go live in a foreign land. We call this going into exile.
Yeah, in exile, everything is disorienting. You're in the unknown.
And in the story of the Bible, this is where the ancient Israelites found themselves, conquered by Babylon, living in exile, far from their homeland.
And so they had to ask themselves, how did we end up here? And is there any hope of going home?
And the whole story of the Bible is designed to address those very questions.
The whole story? Really?
Yeah, go back to the first pages of the Bible. Where does humanity live?
Okay, they live in this really sweet garden, their home.
And they're there on one condition, that they trust and follow God's one command, and they don't. And so the consequence is banishment from the garden.
Ah, they're sent into exile.
Exactly. And so this story has been designed to set you up for Israel's story. How they were given the gift of the promised land and were able to stay there on one condition, that they be faithful to the terms of their covenant relationship with God.
They didn't, and they were sent into exile.
And if you still don't see the parallel between exile from the garden and exile from Israel, think about this. In Genesis, humanity's exile led up to the story about the building of what city?
Oh yeah, Babylon. The same place the Israelites are sent.
But that's not the end of either story. In the first Babylon, God called Abraham to leave and travel to the promised land. And that story was designed to give hope to the Israelites currently living in the later Babylon.
Now eventually, they do get to leave and travel back to their promised homeland.
And when they did, it wasn't home sweet home. Oppressive empires were still ruling over them, and the people kept acting in the same corrupt ways as their ancestors. And so the biblical prophets said that exile wasn't actually over.
How could they think they were still in exile when they're at home?
Yeah, this is really important. In the Hebrew scriptures, Israel's Babylonian exile became an image of something more universal. It's that feeling of alienation and longing for something more, no matter where you live.
Yeah, I can relate to this. I have a great home, but it's situated in a world scarred with pain and broken relationships, death, tragedy, done by others, but also done by me.
And so in the Bible, exile is the human condition. We all keep repeating this pattern of human corruption leading to a Babylon that we can't escape. And it doesn't matter where you live, we are all longing for a better home.
Now, Israel's scriptures held out hope that one day God would send a king who would rescue the world from all of the Babylons we've created.
And after many generations pass, we meet this Israelite named Jesus of Nazareth. He wandered about with no home, announcing the great restoration, that reality of home that Israel and all humanity has been looking for.
Yeah, Jesus really cared about people who didn't have homes. He welcomed in the stranger. He said God's love is shown when you invite in the outcast and throw parties for people who don't have a place to belong.
Jesus also claimed that Israel and all humanity had lost its way, that our self-centeredness drives us to create false homes based on status and power, and these inevitably exclude others. We live in an exile of our own making. But Jesus said the true way home is one of weakness, of service, and of forgiveness. And then Jesus went into exile alongside us to show us the true way home.
Which is?
Well, Jesus said he is the way. His life and self-giving love proved more powerful than humanity's failure. He opened up a pathway to our real home. And as Jesus' followers committed themselves to him, they discovered this new way of being human. They believed that the real return from exile had begun. And so they would call themselves sojourners or wanderers.
Oh, right. They would say things like, the world isn't our home, and we're citizens of heaven.
And so Jesus' followers remain exiles as they wait for that day when Jesus returns to transform this world into a true home.
So we just want to talk for a couple minutes about this video of exile. I've got a couple questions for y'all. First, have you ever kind of felt that feeling like they were talking about of feeling like you don't belong in the world, kind of feeling out of place in the world that we live in? And if so, what caused it? Like, what made you feel like you were out of place in the world? We'll start with Layla. Any of you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. All right. So we moved twice in an 18-month span. About 5 years ago. We moved from Jersey to Apex and then Apex to Holly Springs. And for me personally, it wasn't when we moved from Jersey to Apex. It was when we actually moved from Apex to Holly Springs, because I was still in contact with all my friends from Jersey, and the ones that, over time I lost contact with, I was okay with. But I actually got a new phone around the same time we moved for the second time. So I forgot to transfer my contacts in beforehand. So once we moved to Holly Springs, I lost complete contact with all my friends from Apex, and none of them really messaged me. And to top it all off, the new school I went to, it just felt like nobody wanted to try and connect. Not that I couldn't connect with anybody, it just felt like everybody was trying to almost avoid me. So it felt weird being disconnected from people who did have good connections and relationships with me, and then being in a place where I was told we were going to remain and struggling mightily to connect with people I was going to have to spend the next 5 to 6 years surrounded by. So I would say that was a good example of feeling out of place for about a year and a half, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a great example. Katie or Abby, y'all have any thoughts there?
Yeah. I felt like out of place, I guess, when I came to like middle school, because like everyone knew their friends from like elementary school, and like I just didn't know a lot of people, and I only had like one friend, and I only felt like connected with like her. I didn't know anyone, and they just had their own little like group. So I
think she's talking about Madeline, by the way.
Shout out Madeline Melton.
Yeah.
Katie, anything you want to share on that one? You don't have to if you don't have anything. That's okay. Okay, cool. McGuire's, how about you guys?
Is that cool?
Mine's similar to Abby's. When I transferred from elementary to middle, like pretty much nobody from my elementary school went to my middle school, and some of my teachers were sometimes hard to understand, and it was just really tough getting used to it.
Yeah, for sure. That change is a tough one. The either elementary to middle or middle to high, it's hard, especially if you don't know a lot of people and you kind of feel like everybody's already in a group except you. It's tough.
Especially when you're changing schools.
Yeah, for sure. Either of the other McGuires, y'all have thoughts on that one?
I think we're good.
Not really.
Cool.
No.
Okay, and then the second question I wanted to ask is, in Hebrews chapter 11, it talks about this idea of looking forward to heaven and being excited about what's ahead of you, that being heaven and eternity with the Lord, instead of just looking back on where you've come from. So what do you think it looks like to live looking forward to heaven instead of living looking backwards at where you've come from? McGuire, so we can start with you guys this time.
Yeah, I think something that, like, I don't know if trapped is the right word, but like something that I thought about that now I look back on and realize was wrong when I was younger, was I was super eager to go to heaven, right? It was like, oh, I want to do that now. You know what I mean? And I didn't really see the value in our time on earth. And then as I like matured, like a fine cheese, I realized that like God like gave us this time on earth for a reason, right? He obviously like he has a purpose for all of us. So he has an idea of like what he wants us to do with our time on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So like I guess like it's natural to be excited for heaven, but that's not like the only point, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Ellie or Tucker, y'all have anything on that one?
I also feel like we're on earth for a reason to like bring others to God. So like when we end up going to heaven, we're helping spread the opportunity to others, because there's obviously lots of people who don't know Christ and we don't want to leave them. So I feel like it's just a time to spread God's love and God's word so other people can join us.
Yeah, for sure. Laylers, we'll go to you guys now. Laylers, you have any thoughts on that?
I think that God made us on earth for a reason, and we have like so much like good stuff in the world. I know there's not like a lot of good in it too, but he gave us time to maybe like spread love and spread kindness and like spread his word, and maybe to lessen that hate.
Katie, anything you want to add to that one?
That was good. I don't want to repeat what Aiden said because that was my original point.
Cool. All right. Well, Laylers and McGuires, again, thank you so much for being with us this week.
Thanks,
we hope to see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right. Well, that will pretty much wrap up the show for us today. Again, I want to remind you, we're trying some breakout groups after this. So middle school girls, Trisha McGuire is going to open up a meeting for y'all. Middle school boys, you've got the one and only Steven Yakubowski hanging out with y'all. For the high school girls, 9th and 10th graders, you've got Lauren opening up a meeting for you. For the older girls, the 11th and 12th grade girls, it was going to be Mama Maria, but she has some sick kids in the house. Actually, Mariah and Maddie are going to be meeting with y'all. They're super excited about that. And high school boys, you're stuck with me. And also Dave Nash, I think, is going to try and join us. So those will be opening up in about 15 minutes. So you got some time to move around. We would love for you to join us at those. And again, if you need a link, if you need info, just leave it in the comments, or better yet, text me, and we'll make sure you get the information. We love you guys. We really do miss you. Today, they're allowing gatherings of 10 again in the state, and so we're starting to explore maybe what it looks like to get some small groups back together. We don't know what that looks like yet, but we're hopeful that we're making baby steps back towards getting to see each other again, and we can't wait till that happens. Steve, anything you want to close with?
Yeah, 3 things.
Ooh.
1, you guys are loved. 2, you guys are valued. 3, can't wait to see you guys next week. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.